Let's hear from Dr. Rosalind Raby from California State University. She is also editor-in-chief of the Journal of Comparative and International Higher Education, the flagship journal of higher education within CIES. And she's also pioneer of international education on international student counterpart of community colleges. Dr. Raby, over to you.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me today and to talk about my new favorite topic, the Journal of Comparative and International Higher Education. And thank you, Krishna, for putting up the link. JCIHE is an open access, independent, peer review international journal, and we publish original contributions to the field of comparative and international higher education. So all the publications need to match our mission on comparative and international higher education. So if you submit something on elementary education, we'll say thank you very much. This is really interesting, but this doesn't fit the theme of the journal. So we really focus on higher education. Our journal serves as a place to share new thinking on analysis, theory, policy, and practice as it relates to the topic of higher education. Our objectives are to unite researchers undertaking comparative projects. We're a forum for reflective and critical thinking. We're concerned with showcasing new and diverse international research that uses rigorous methodology, focuses on theory, policy, practice, critical analysis, and development analysis that influences higher education. We have as our core principles comparative research, engagement with theory, and diverse voices in terms of authorship. There are a variety of publications that we accept. We have empirical articles, scholarly essays and reviews, and we do have one issue every year on emerging scholar research summaries. And these are usually submitted by doctoral students, summarizing a current research, not necessarily their dissertations, because these are at maximum 1,200 words. But it provides an opportunity for doctoral students who haven't yet gone through the peer review process and to experience what it means to summarize your ideas very succinctly. The empirical articles are 5,500 to 7,500 words. And I can share information. Oh, there it is. I just realized that that information is up there. One of the things that we're most proud of, and then I'll stop and allow others to share, is the diversity of our authorship. We have oh yeah, I mean, everybody wants to put the number of the data, so we could just go on. I mean, that's, you guys could have that in the slide, that we actually something here that I'm very excited to is that days to first decision are usually 20 days. But I am working on upping the acceptance rate, not the acceptance rate, but the communication on our journals. We have two slides because our authorship is so diverse. Our top 8 countries are Australia, Canada, China, Japan, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States. And this is a multi-year comparison to show the growth in some of these areas. Can you do the next slide? But this slide is very exciting. As you can see, we have numerous other countries that are beginning to publish anywhere from 1 article to 3 in the journal. What this means is that we are open to authors from all around the world. We are inclusive. We are allowing of submissions that might be introduced in a unique way. However, we insist on following certain formats, such as making sure your research objectives are clear, making sure that you have clear methodology. etc. We encourage new perspectives and new voices. And when I was thinking that Krishna put down what can be beneficial, two things: follow the directions. If you don't follow the directions and use the template, we are going to do Desperate Jet, because we get so many submissions that I can't spend the time reformatting everybody's work. So follow the directions, they're very clear. And that goes for any journal that you're involved in. The second is be familiar with that journal. Read the articles in that journal. I come across as a reviewer of many journals, as well as reading this own, that people say, oh, there's a dearth in the literature. No, there's really not a dearth in the literature. It's usually that you're not familiar with what other people are publishing. And especially if you want to get published in a journal, be very, very familiar. Do a whole bunch of searches of the past articles, so that you are aware that other people most likely are talking about the same ideas, just in a different context. So at that, I will pass on to my next colleague. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very important information there. And we'll have more questions in the chat. Please continue posting your questions and we'll take them in a minute. Next, I'd like to invite my colleague here for another 2 minutes remarks or introduce the journal. So let's move to Professor Dr. Uttam Gauli from Morgan State University. He's the founding editor of Journal of Underrepresented and Minority Progress, JUMP. Dr. Gauli?
Dr. Bista, I didn't see him in.
Oh, maybe he got the, yes, he had a multiple meetings, might be confused, or maybe in another meeting, but I can talk a little bit. This is also open access journal, part of our open journals in education platform. They publish twice a year, and you can see their timeline, deadline, and some of the general aims and scopes on my screen. So with that, there are also a list of the journals within that open access journal OJED platform. These journals are based at research public university in the US. Some of them are emerging journals, some of them are well established. So you may consider some of these open access platform or AERA open, any journals that you feel that your manuscript align with the aims and scope. Is our editor mentioned earlier, please read the aims and scope of the journals rather than just uploading your manuscript. So with that,